This is weird.
From the land of conjurers, flying through the internet to your device like a UAP, haunting the unexplained and downright weird, this is the Spooky Hours, and we are ready to take off in the flash of an eye. Good evening to one and all, wherever and whenever you are listening to this program. I am Frosty, and joining me, as always, the medium Ginny Lee, and also tonight, Alyson, the priestess of Wonderland. How are you ladies doing tonight?
I'm Harry Shroom today.
Yeah. You look all dressed up.
Hello, everybody.
I tried to put something together right before the show, but I have to be able to like see multiple computer screens, and yeah, it just wasn't going to work out very well. So I'm here in my normal here in my normal.
Boring.
I just figured out when we went live also that I never finished the Spooky Hours intro, so I had to play the regular one. I had started creating a Spooky Hours intro, and
you never
just too many videos. I had like 8 videos to make this week, so it didn't happen. That's okay though. So welcome in one and all to the Witching Hours, and tonight, only one time a year, we do become the Spooky Hours.
You don't have our Spooky Hours thing. Oh, there it is. I was about to say, where is it?
And so tonight we are the Spooky Hours. And I guess if there's anything, if you have not joined us for the Spooky Hours before, the one thing that we do need to know tonight is that we are accepting any scary stories that you would like to contribute in chat. We will have time left over at the end of the show where if you share a spooky story, we'll go back and read that and put it on air tonight. So if you have one, feel free to send it in. And I'll actually say you can either put it in chat here. If you're in our Discord, you can put it over, and you want to put it over on the in the Witching Hours chat over on Discord. You can put it there as well. And we'll get to those tonight.
Just let us know that you put it there.
Yeah.
So that we can read it.
So, all right. A lot to get to tonight because the Spooky Hours is a couple different things. It's the time of year where we celebrate our Halloween, which happened to be the very first show for the Witching Hours. Ever. So this is also our 4-year anniversary. Yay. So we have, so we have lots of fun stuff planned,
which is crazy.
Tonight. I know, 4 years. It's really funny too, going back and watching the old videos because it's like we've done 3 months in a row, and and another thing that's really weird is we only did one show a month.
Yes,
like the first over a year. So like I think episode 1 is the first Halloween, and then episode 13 or 14 is the second Halloween show, and now we're at like 128 or whatever it is.
Wow. Yeah, there was only one a month to start with.
Yeah. So here we are with a whole nother episode for year 4. We want to start off tonight with some weird news.
Well, hold on. Since we don't have like, I mean, Alyson's here and she's always a special guest, but since we don't have like a guest that we don't know, mm-hmm. we should take some time to say hello to everybody because there's a lot of people here.
Yeah, for sure.
We have a hype train going on Twitch now.
Holy smokes.
CMC resubbed for 20 months. Kim just resubbed for 2 months, and Journey, Keisha gifted a sub to Journey. So now we have a hype train happening. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We have so many wonderful people here to enjoy our Spooky Hours tonight. Norse, Journey, Nottingetty, Hoagsters, of course, Priestess of Wonderland, Shadow Max, Witness Dude, A Bloom, which is Little Wing's sister. Welcome in. Luce is here. Kim is here. Who else we got? CMC, Casey, Keisha, of course. Everybody's here. And over on Facebook, we have Irene, She's laughing at my costume. Welcome in, everybody. So happy for you guys to be here tonight. Oh, and Shadow Max, thank you for the bits. Let's go.
I know you guys are going crazy. Have
and Chico's here.
Crazy.
There's a mushroom with a mustache. Everybody's here.
A mushroom with a mustache.
Yeah. And Danica. Hi, Danica, of course.
Hi, Irene. Hi, Danica. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, everybody.
Okay, now I think we're ready for weird news.
Okay, now weird news?
Yes.
All right. All right. So the weird news tonight, I think, the first one that kind of hit my mind is we've been talking about the weather a lot lately. And it should be mentioned that Hurricane Melissa is kind of bearing down on Jamaica tonight. And it could be the strongest hurricane ever to hit Jamaica.
Oh, that's awful.
So it has rapidly intensified and is now a major storm headed towards Jamaica. Maximum sustained winds were already earlier today at 140 miles per hour. And forecasters are warning that it could strengthen into a Category 5 before it hits. It would be one of the strongest hurricanes in its history, possibly the strongest direct landfall for the island in modern records.
That's not good.
Yeah, heavy rainfall is expected due to the storm's slow movement. It could be quite a while that it's there. 15 to 30 inches of rain. Possibly some areas reaching up to 40 inches of rain.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. And, Jamaica is, obviously has the beaches and the coast, but it's also like very mountainous. So that adds risks of landslides.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. So, yeah. Thoughts. Hopefully everyone, is able to, I guess when this happens, you just hope that something happens and it doesn't, it's not as dangerous as it sounds. Maybe it
put up a light protection bubble over the island of Jamaica.
Yeah, so something to keep an eye out on there. Story number 2, NASA's supercomputer predicts the end of the world.
Again? Why are we always going to have this end of the world crap? Come on.
NASA, in collaboration with Japan's Toho University, used supercomputer simulations to model how our planet's habitability will decline over time. I have sad news that in the year
2026,
essentially 1 million years from now, the Earth's surface may become so hot that the atmosphere is so degraded that even microbial life would struggle to persist on Earth. But the more serious part of the study talks about not just the dissonance of our planet, but how solar radiation and stuff like that could help our planet's habitability crash much earlier, potentially within just a couple of centuries. So that is pretty interesting. The models highlight declining oxygen levels in the atmosphere, increased solar activity, disrupting Earth's magnetic field, and rising greenhouse gas temperature trends as compounding factors. Of course, while we talk a lot about the changing weather on this show, I think there's also the idea that they've been talking about this for a long time, and sometimes it hasn't happened as quickly as they have warned in the past. So,
they said 1 million years.
Well,
they said somewhere between 200 and 1 million years. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're predicting the weather. It could be 2 to 40 inches. We're not sure.
Another story tonight is what you were working on last week, which is Atlas to become very active. Harvard scientists, big warning as interstellar objects comes closest to the sun. So a couple things are happening here. I don't know if I've ever seen anything get quite as much, any asteroid or comet or anything get the attention that this one has been getting. And with the prevalence of AI online, it just seems like I don't know what to think about this thing, because you have Avi Loeb, of course, the Harvard professor, who's saying all kinds of things. So an interstellar comet that is approaching its closest point to the sun, coming soon. I think just before Halloween, like the 30th. I think, right, is when it's going to be its closest point to Earth or something like that.
Was incorrect.
That was incorrect.
To December.
Okay, I'll have to check that out because there was a story I was reading earlier today. So new observations show it has developed a tail.
Don't know. 200 years to a million years, we don't know.
That's kind of been the problem with this atlas is they keep getting conflicting information.
Yeah.
And like I don't know whether the scientists are getting conflicting information or whether it's just fake news that's put out. Because it's really hard to tell. It's getting harder to tell. So new observations showed it's developed a tail indicating increasing activity as the sun's heat drives up the sublimation of materials. Avi Loeb, the Harvard scientist, has raised the possibility, speculative, that the object might not be a typical comet, suggesting it could be of artificial origin. And the article, these articles have been talking about, while there's no threat to Earth in terms of like hitting Earth, it does provide a scientific opportunity to try to find out about its interstellar origin. I did see a non-AI video of Michio Kaku today because there has been like AI videos of him saying that it's like an alien spacecraft. I did see a non-AI interview with Michio Kaku today where he seemed really interesting, and he's watching it because he said if it speeds up as it comes closer to the sun, it would be a sign of intelligence, and that would basically prove that it was some kind of alien spacecraft. Just the fact, I don't know, just the fact that Michio Kaku is at least interested in it possibly being something like that was to me. So
I mean, couldn't being closer to the sun change the chemical makeup of it and make it change weight, or some of it could separate off, or like, I would think that being closer to the sun could make it change speed.
Well, I know that
artificial or not.
When we send probes out, we send them out to other planets to slingshot them using their gravity to gain speed. And so I know you can use the sun the same way. You can use the sun's gravity to increase your velocity. However, Michio Kaku, I'm taking his word for it because he's an astrophysicist, and I had a hard time passing college algebra. So I'm not. So yeah, I agree with you, Alyson. I'm like, couldn't it possibly use some kind of gravitational pull to increase the velocity of the comet? I don't know, but he said that if we see it to start to speed up when it gets closer to the sun, then it'll be a sign of intelligence. Whether or not it's an alien spacecraft, it would like he doesn't know, but it would be intelligent design, like whatever would prove intelligent design. So
CNC said the solar wind would affect the outer surfaces and leave a wake of particles.
Yeah.
I think, because it could be that it's not necessarily a spacecraft, but if it was something man-made, then they were doing it like we do it, where they slingshot it off of something. Perhaps that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, in order for it to happen, like it couldn't just really happen naturally. If it were to slingshot, then it would be. And
somebody had to
on purpose.
Send it.
Yeah, it would have to be on purpose. So we'll see. That's interesting. Obviously, what you got last week about that was interesting.
We all had a little bit of also conflicting information.
Yeah.
But there definitely seems to be some sort of purpose to it, whether it's just a rock or not.
And it's just interesting because at this point you would think there would be some kind of information, to be able to say, look, everyone's being ridiculous. This is just a rock. Because that's kind of where I've been this whole time. Like, it's a rock. It happens. There's lots of rocks in space. This happens all the time. Look at the moon. Lots of rocks have hit the moon. But there keeps being stuff, there continues to be things that are just not normal about it. Like, it had a tail that was facing forward. So
and at first it didn't have a tail, and now its tail's in the front.
And then it had a tail in the front.
That's not where tails go.
But then the tail's in the back, and then the chemical makeup that they've gotten, that when they've looked at it as not like any other asteroid they've seen before. So
How do you get chemical
see.
makeup?
Looking at
Math.
looked at the color of it, of the gases that were coming out
They
of it.
math
That
it.
created a tail. Math. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll keep any updates here on the weird news as we keep going along.
Nice.
And then finally for tonight, Argentina's UFO incident sealed for national security. Residents in Argentina reported seeing a white light with violet flashes hovering over a field. This is pretty recent, and police were dispatched to investigate. People were calling in, asking for someone to come check it out, and the police showed up. Upon arrival, officers observed cows circling the light that it was leaving on the ground, and in the air. So they were walking around in circles like they were hypnotized, while horses were panicking and crashing into fences.
Oh, poor horsies.
The glowing object remained still for a few minutes before disappearing without a sound or trace, and the animals immediately calmed down and no damage was found. 2 months later, the police report was classified by national security authorities in Argentina. And so local residents are puzzled. They've been wanting answers. UFO researchers, of course, have started to flock there to try to find out more information. But the files have now been sealed, and Argentina is not discussing what happened with the UFO incident there.
The U.S. must have got to him.
So
the CIA said, shut your yap.
We just started making, this is interesting because I didn't even think about this when I first saw the news story earlier, but, we have been making some trade agreements with Argentina. We're going to start importing Argentinian beef to the United States.
Oh, the cows. They're going to sell hypnotized cow meat. That's what they're working on.
Yeah. So there we go. I didn't even think about that earlier, but we are heavily invested. We were actually discussing this the other day.
That's how they're transporting the beef. They're beaming it up in a little drone, and
with the stuff we're flying at Area 51.
Yeah. I mean,
so we've developed
like
some kind of
use of this technology.
We've developed some kind of zero energy vehicle that we can use to fly down to Argentina to transport beef.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's better than, using it as a weapon. I'll take that. I mean, except for the cows, it's a weapon for the cows.
Yeah. There we go.
Poor cows.
Yeah. So that was the weird news for the spooky hours.
Weird. That was weird. That was weird.
Want to get weird?
All right, guys. I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to lose the mustache. I hope you all enjoyed it.
You've been laughing too much or smiling too much.
It's getting sweaty under there, and I think my nose is starting to run. It's gonna get pretty gross.
See, now you know what it's like.
Can I put it here? Do like this? No. All right, friends. It is time for the moon phase update for November. Take it away, Alyson.
All right. Well, a lot is happening in November.
Oh, no.
A lot. And I don't know. There's so many different things being said about everything. And when I was doing research for November, it is kind of interesting that the AI Atlas is, or the A1 Atlas is the information that you got through your channeling about how it's, some people are going to react to it in a very positive way and have some sort of enlightenment, or some people are going to freak out and have a lot of anxiety. And the month of November kind of feels like that, very just so many different things coming, or so many things happening all at once in one short period of time. And it's going to affect people differently. And I think it can aid in transformation and evolution, a lot of the things that are happening this month, which Scorpio season, the sign Scorpio is the sign of transformation. And Pluto is the planet of transformation, ruled by Scorpio. And Pluto just went direct. So it's no longer retrograde. It was retrograde for a very long time, or it felt like forever. So whenever there's so many things going on, I try to just go back to the basics, which is where's the sun and where's the moon. And the sun is in Scorpio, and the moon goes through all 12 of the signs every month. So we're starting off this first week of November we will be starting off the first week of November, still in the Scorpio sun season, but we're also in the Libra moon cycle, which I think is also kind of interesting because normally this time of year we would be in our Scorpio moon cycle. So it's basically the Libra new moon closed out the Libra sun season, and the Scorpio new moon is going to close out Scorpio sun season, which normally they kind of start around the same time.
Because everything kind of shifted this year.
Yeah.
And then next year it shifts even more, didn't it?
Well, it started shifting already. And for the next 2 years, all of the signs that are usually perfectly paired up together, perfectly balancing each other out, perfect opposites, are kind of shifted a little bit. So it is really kind of interesting that we're supposedly collectively going through this big transformation, and we're literally like kind of shifting one click of the wheel forward. But anyway, so basically what's happening is the first week of November, Mars moves into Sagittarius, November 4th, and we have our full moon in Taurus on November 5th. So Taurus energy is very earthy and grounded and heart-centered, which I always look to Taurus to kind of anchor in when things might feel chaotic or tumultuous, just like anchoring onto that earth element and that earth sign. A lot of times we will have like a Taurus moon during eclipse season, and it really does just help you come back to what are your basic needs, what makes you comfortable. So having Taurus energy amongst all of this chaos, I think helps us. I recommend creating some sort of nest or some sort of space where you can retreat to when you're feeling overwhelmed and when you're feeling the chaos of the collective or whatever else is going on in the world. Have some place where you can stabilize yourself, come back to yourself, get grounded and centered, which I do think that starting off this month of November, looking at the Taurus full moon, see what it illuminates for you. The full moons are so that you can see the big picture. It's light at night. So kind of pay attention to what are the things that bring you comfort and what are the things that bring you back to yourself and back to your heart and back to center. I think that's something that we're gonna need to anchor onto this month. November 6th. We're only in the 6 days of November. Venus moves into Scorpio. So Venus in Scorpio is very, very magnetic and very passionate and very intriguing, and it's. I think that's another thing that we can focus on. We're along with that Taurus comfort energy of just what are the things that you're feeling drawn towards, and what are the things that make you feel comfortable. Venus in Scorpio is very kind of like sensual and just finding those things that give you comfort and give you pleasure. Because November 9th, Mercury is going retrograde. And it will be retrograde until the end of November 29th. So we're going to have, those fun, sticky conversations on Thanksgiving with your family members. Someone's going to mishear something and you said what? Mercury is in Sagittarius also. So we're having this, we're kind of like the planets are moving away from the Scorpio and the Libra energy and moving into Sagittarius, which is the fire and the action and getting excited about things again. Mm-hmm. So I think it's like in the middle of this transformation with Scorpio, Sagittarius reminds us that like once you get to the end of it, like you know when you're going through something difficult and then it feels like the worst thing in the world, but then after it's over, you look back and you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And you're like, oh, what's the next adventure? What's the next lesson? Like we're just Sagittarius changes your perspective to like keep moving forward after you've gone through that transformation. There's so much that's happening this month. I can't even believe it.
That was just like the first week.
I know. So November 10th, Jupiter goes retrograde, which Jupiter's been holding out all year long, hasn't been retrograde yet. And Jupiter's the planet of luck and growth and expansion. And right when Pluto goes direct with the transformation, it's like, okay, yay, now we can continue with this transformation and this evolution. But luck isn't on our side with Jupiter going retrograde. And it will be retrograde until March of next year.
Boo. Is there a bright side to Jupiter being retrograde? Because CMC said he's trying to look on the bright side here. Mercury in retrograde is great for creativity. Is there a good side to Jupiter being in retrograde?
Anything going retrograde allows you to redo something.
Okay.
So if there was something like creatively speaking, like if there's something that like you tried one time and it didn't really work out, a retrograde is a really good time to like try to do it again. See, because it changes your perspectives. It helps you approach things differently. It really does teach us a lesson, but for whatever reason, it's just, I guess maybe because of the trickery part of Mercury, it just always seems to be kind of haywire. But yes, that is a very good point. And I love looking at the bright side of things because it really does just teach us a lesson, and you can try that creative project in a different way.
Now I just want to start singing Monty Python. Always look on the bright side of life. Anyway, continue.
Okay, so November 20th, we have the new moon in Scorpio. So this again is closing out the Scorpio season with this new moon cycle, and the sun is moving into Sagittarius on the same day. So we're kind of closing out spooky season and moving into that what's that next adventure? Okay, we learned that lesson. That was fun. Let's do
Turkey
something
Day.
And Turkey Day too. Okay, here's one good thing. Saturn goes direct on the 27th, which Saturn's the planet of boundaries and restriction. So while it was retrograde, you may have had to relearn how to set boundaries again, which a lot of times when Saturn's retrograde, it'll put something in your life where you have to set a boundary. So having that go direct again, hopefully it means that you won't have to like reset your boundaries. You won't be encountered with a situation where you have to say no.
Yay. I love how you said, oh, here's one good thing.
Here's one.
Well,
There's one good thing.
That these are bad things. It's just a lot of things happening all at once.
Yeah.
And I'm not
a lot of energy
at the aspects of the planets with each other, which creates a whole nother can of worms. I just look at what sign is the planet in? How can we use this? How can we benefit from this? But they all interact with each other and create even a totally different dynamic. So like when all of this chaos is happening, I just really go back to what's the sun doing? What's the moon doing? The moon changes signs every 2.5 days. So if you don't like something, wait a day and a half or something, and it's going to move into a different sign and a different energy. We are in the season of transformation, the Scorpio season of transformation, and we're in the season of fall, which is the season of transformation. So I really think that just like trusting that like once we get through this transformation, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, which is Sagittarius season, which is that fire and that spark and the motivation to move on to the next adventure.
It's
That's
going to
all I
be
have
a
to
what?
say about that.
I mean, really, none of it sounded terrible.
No.
I mean,
No.
there was a point in the year where you said it was going to be a dumpster fire, and that didn't get brought up again. So
Right.
good.
I mean, we went through the dumpster fire, and I think
Yeah.
that's the beautiful part of transformation, where you can look back and be like, "Whoa, we went through that, and we
Yeah.
survived it, and here we are."
It's not it's not retrograde palooza, and it's not dumpster fire. So we're already looking on the bright side of life there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just buckle up, people. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride, but not terrible.
You know, I always think though, because I was talking the other day about this time of year, like, you know, this is the last week of October.
Mhm.
And once, for me, and I think for others as well, once you hit Halloween, it's like going down that big slide and we get dumped off into January.
Yep.
So it's like, you know, once we hit Friday, it's gonna get more hectic and more hectic and more hectic, and before we know it, we're gonna be doing the New Year's Eve prediction show.
No.
You know, so
I was thinking about that when I was writing my notes for this. I was like, I need to start doing my predictions already. Like,
yeah, it's coming around. Like, if you haven't started your Christmas shopping, yeah, we're almost like it started. Yeah, we're at that time of year, and you know, everyone's like, oh, it's a little bit early. It's like, yeah, man, but time just goes by so fast. Like, by the time you actually get to doing something and not think about it, it is going to be time. So it sounds like, you know, you combine what you were talking about with the moon phases and just that energy of this time of year, it does kind of get very chaotic to a certain degree. So
very chaotic, and only focusing on the things that are important. It's like your family, like what's right in front of you. And I think that's what the lesson is this month, is focus on your comfort zone and stay within that comfort zone.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Sounds good.
Won't try anything particularly tricky this month. I found a great place for the mustache.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there. Oh, there we go.
Dickie has a mustache now. Isn't he so cute with his little mustache?
That is pretty cute. Yeah.
He's adorable. He just went from cute to absolutely adorable.
All right.
So
grown up.
So dapper.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, thank you so much for the moon phase update as always, Alyson.
Yes, thank you. Always interesting to see what the next month holds.
All right.
Well, friends, it's the time you've been waiting for how many weeks now?
Yeah, I think we started, I don't know, maybe early September. We've released 3 teaser videos about where Team Weird Takeover 2026 was going to be. And tonight is the night we're going to reveal the location. So real quick, before we go, any last minute guesses? This is the last time you can try to get bragging rights and say you had it in writing before we reveal the location.
Hoaxer said it was his backyard.
Hoaxers said the backyard.
Yeah, and then we got a Salem.
Said Salem, I think.
Mississippi,
right?
Waffle House, Sedona, Arizona, Disneyland. Waffle House. Waffle House is a little bit too small.
We could do breakfast there the next morning, possibly.
Denver.
Sedona, Arizona would be absolutely wonderful. CMC.
Casey's just wishful thinking for Denver.
Those Disney World and Disneyland Team Weird Takeover tickets would be extraordinarily expensive.
Yeah, really. Wander said at our house, we can get some good stuff here, paranormal stuff. Gettysburg. Yeah. These are all great guesses.
Denver. Oh, at the Denver airport? Team Weird Takeover live from the Denver airport. Yeah, we can go find the underground bases.
We'll set up our campsite in Casey's backyard since we're going to Denver. MISSISSIPPI, Mississippi.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Are we ready?
We're ready. Let's go. There
we
it
go.
is. The
The Lord
Lord Baltimore Hotel in Baltimore, Maryland. For those of you who are listening at a later time and place and you couldn't see what it said, Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore, Maryland. The Lord Baltimore Hotel, which was built in the 1920s, is the actual name is some kind of like French Renaissance architecture, and it's a little haunted. So that's where we're going to go, and that's where we're going to stay.
We're going to be in the haunted conference room on the haunted floor.
Yeah. So we're going to give away a whole lot more information, including guests who are going to join us there. But I will say we are going to have a conference room, and we also are going to have a block of hotel rooms at a discounted price. And so those will all be, we'll mention that when all that goes live. But we wanted to change it up a little bit from when we did it at Lake Shawnee. We had a very rustic experience at Lake Shawnee,
particularly the bathroom situation.
Yeah, and so this time we thought, how about we make this year a little bit more on the pampering side without really trying to increase the prices on it, to keep it affordable. And so it's a nice hotel where you can have a nice bed to sleep in. You don't have to worry about going anywhere. It has a nice restaurant in the hotel to get food and stuff from. We have a conference room where we're going to have lectures and things like that throughout the day. So it's going to be, I think it'll be a fun time. Investigations at night, speakers through the day, and some other cool events that we'll announce as we get closer to next summer.
And of course, plenty of hangout time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So, yeah, I imagine we'll probably have tickets. Tickets probably won't go on sale. We'll probably have tickets go on sale after the holidays, maybe in January sometime. And then we'll put the rooms go up. So, but I think going up until then, maybe we'll find out a way to kind of do it like this and kind of announce different guests.
Reveal things. Reveal more things.
I know. I'm already excited. I want to talk more about it because we already have people who are coming. So, but we'll get there. So there we go. 2026, the Lord Baltimore Hotel, Team Weird Takeover.
Actually, Bloomy, we did look at the Crescent Hotel, and it was too expensive.
That was the first place we looked. Well, and I think we can make it happen eventually.
Yeah.
But for us right now, kind of doing all the stuff, we have to be able to get there easily. And right now we still need to drive because we got to bring all the stuff, and taking it on a plane makes it more expensive, which we already have to figure out things for that. But so yeah, we want to expand it and go somewhere different every year. So all those things are up on the table. Gettysburg was a guest tonight too. And after we went to Gettysburg this year, which kind of leads into our next conversation, we definitely want to go back there. And that could be a really cool place to have a Team Weird Takeover because it's very walkable.
Yes.
So there's lots of cool stuff to do, lots of tours and stuff that you could do, cool restaurants, cool locations, cool ghost tours. But I
think everything is haunted.
Yeah, pretty much. So lots of cool history. So that could definitely be something for a future one.
Lake Cat Hubby wants us to go to Mackinac Island. That would be wonderful. And CMC is already calling it Baldemort.
Baldemort, yeah. Oh, that was another thing. We wanted to make sure last year too, when we had it at Lake Shawnee, which we loved, but not only was it rustic, but it was a little hard to get to. Being up in the mountains in Appalachia, I think it was still an hour and a half from like the closest airport or whatever. And so one of the things, for people who want to be able to attend is now it'll be close to an international airport.
Yes,
CMC needs to fly in.
CMC is excited about the airport.
Yeah.
Yes. Linguist perhaps flying in close.
Was it CMC we were saying could come in by kayak last year? Like take the river or something? I don't
know. Hoaxers could have done that.
Yeah.
Hoaxers could have gotten a little raft of some sort and floated down some river.
Yeah. So So speaking of which, now that we've done the Team Weird Takeover reveal and we know where we're going, so we can get excited for that as we get closer. I guess we wanted to talk a little bit about our trip to Gettysburg.
Yes, we do, because we were saving it for tonight.
Yeah. So what were some of your I guess let's start here. Like what were you anticipating Gettysburg to be? Because neither of us had been there before.
Yeah, we hadn't been there before. I really thought that it was going to be spooky, and I wasn't expecting it to be as big as it is. And I was expecting to have some emotional reactions. But other than that, I didn't really know too much or like have an idea of what to expect, really. How about you?
Yeah. I was kind of the same place. I mean, being a history person, I haven't always been very interested in the Civil War, being that I spent a lot of time in Virginia. Like 90% of the war has been fought like the places that I lived. So you just kind of get burnout hearing about it all the time. And so, and I wasn't always particularly interested in like the battles of the Civil War and like the military strategy and stuff like that. So I have always kind of wanted to go to Gettysburg for the historical aspect, but at the same time, it wasn't somewhere where it's like a major destination for me historically.
Yeah.
And I imagine that I figured that, I kind of figured that you have a battle, the bloodiest battle in the Civil War. There was definitely going to be the stuff there, especially with our experiences with other battlefields. Like I have yet to find a Civil War battlefield that isn't haunted. But I was also kind of expecting it to be kind of maybe a little hokey or drummed up to a certain extent. To be like more like a tourist trap for the ghost stuff. But that's not how it came off at all to me. And maybe that was our experience. But so we went to we had a cool place to be able to kind of hang out. The first night we helped do a panel. We led a panel talking to an energy vampire.
Yes.
And we also talked to Heidi
Kemper, who's been on the Witching Hours, medium extraordinaire.
We had fun. We got to hang out with Sam Baltrusis once again, who hosted that weekend. It was kind of his trip there. So we had good. We got to do quite a bit of tours. We did a regular ghost tour, and we did the first night.
We did a walking tour, and we had like the very best. The very best tour guide ever. She was dressed in period dress. I think some of you saw the pictures of her. She had a cool lantern that had a little ghost with a pumpkin or something in it. And like, she was amazing. I mean, she weaved the stories of the history with the ghost stories but made it personable. So like you understood like about the people that were in these historic stories that she was telling. It was great. And, we got to walk around Gettysburg, going down, like major streets, but then also walking through alleys. And it was really wonderful. I did, on that walking tour, we went into this one parking lot. And as soon as I stepped in it, I was like, oh, like I just felt so awful. And it turns out there used to be a cemetery there. Yeah. It was right next to a church, and they moved the cemetery.
But because there were a lot of mediums with this that weekend.
Yes.
And pretty much all the mediums said very collectively, once she said that, they didn't get everybody.
No, it was awful. Like that parking lot was awful.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that was one of my reactions that night.
There was also kind of a conversation that took place the next day about whether a bunch of people had seen a ghost the night before.
Yes. Okay, so we're standing on this road waiting for us to like all get together to move to the next location. But there was this car parked in the middle of the road, and like this woman was lost. And so our tour guide was trying to help her figure out how to get where she needed to go, because part of the road was closed off because they were filming a Hallmark movie there.
Yeah, get ready for that.
So
Yeah.
the lady didn't know how to get where she was going because the road was blocked off. So we're all standing on this road facing the road that's parallel. And I see a woman in period dress, and it's nighttime, it's late. She's walking really fast down the sidewalk, and she's looking at us, and she has a freaking handkerchief in her hand. And I'm like trying to get somebody's attention. Like, does anybody else see this lady, And because clearly there are people in period dress walking around. Our tour guide was one of them. I saw another tour guide that was dressed in period dress. And there's also a movie being filmed there where people are dressed in costumes.
With extras, yeah.
But this lady seemed a little bit out of place. She wasn't carrying anything else. She didn't have a lantern, because all the tour guides have to have a lantern.
Have to have lanterns.
She had a handkerchief, which is weird. Like, nobody uses handkerchiefs anymore. And she's just walking really fast.
I do.
Oh, you use it? Okay, Alyson used a handkerchief. Maybe it was Alyson. She was there. She didn't tell us.
And I'm wearing a period dress today.
It was Alyson. It was just Alyson.
It was me. I was stalking you guys.
So then later we're trying to talk to each other and like see who saw it, and other people did see it, and it just seemed a little weird. And we got on a big conversation about, it probably was just a person, but how many times do we see people that aren't actually there, but they look so real that we don't realize that they're not a living person? So that was really
that's a good point to make, because I have been, going over some of the history of paranormal and ghosts. And I think I was telling you the other day that this idea that ghosts are like see-through or like floating and stuff like that doesn't happen until the late 1800s, when film first starts happening, they start creating these things called phantasmagoria, and they'll take like a background and essentially put like a ghostly figure or a skeleton or something like that on the screen, and people would come to watch kind of these scary little movies, because it was just a novelty still at the time. Yeah. And because of the way they did these phantasmagorias, it would create like translucent images or ghosts that were like hovering over the ground. And so that was the first time and it's not until after those happen that people start seeing translucent ghosts. Yeah. And ghosts that are hovering. So really, if kind of going off this history, that means that when people had seen ghosts previously, we know that ghosts are a thing. Like, it goes all the way back to, I found ancient, Greek ghosts,
they found a depiction on an Egyptian hieroglyph of a ghost.
Yeah. You had posted that in the Weird News. Yeah. That I guess before that they would have seemed just like a normal person, but they would maybe just appear out of nowhere, disappear.
Yeah.
So, that might have been more like you just said, like people might see ghosts
and they just think they're a real person.
They just because they don't have that Ghostbusters library and look to them. Yeah, exactly.
So we need to spend just a little more time talking about Gettysburg, because we don't want to run out of time. We have a lot more things to do. But Frosty, I wanted you to share what happened to you when we went to the orphanage.
So we got to investigate two different places. We went to the Jenny Wade house and we went to the orphanage. I didn't really know a whole lot about either one before I went. So I guess the background of the orphanage, if you're not familiar, oh yeah, Irene. Yeah, that's interesting. I'd love to have a conversation with you about that. Actually, Irene. Next time
you come on the Witching Hours, don't forget. Let's talk about it,
because that's interesting. Just for people who don't know about it, because I didn't. The orphanage, of course, was an orphanage in Gettysburg, and it had like a headmistress. And she leaves. She gets married to somebody else who lives out of state, and she moves away with her new husband and all that. So they have to hire a new person to run the orphanage. And the woman they hire, a couple weeks after she takes over, they start realizing like the kids who live at the orphanage are usually like very busy around town. They're like very much part of the community, and like they go do work different places, and people see them around town all the time. They don't see them as much anymore, and when they do see them, they tend to be kind of disheveled, not as clean as they were, wearing ratty clothes that haven't been mended, things like that. And it continues to kind of get worse until the story goes eventually one night, Christmas Eve night, a couple is leaving mass at their church, and they walk past this alleyway. It's quicker for them to get home taking this alleyway to their house. And when they go by, there's an outhouse in a backyard of the orphanage, and they hear a voice, and they go to investigate, and there's like a, I don't know, it was like a 6 or 7 year old.
He was like 5 years old.
Yeah, a boy who's been locked in the outhouse. So they take the boy home, warm him up, all that kind of stuff. And he starts telling them stories about what's happening inside the orphanage, which essentially, without going all the way into all the details, like there's lots of abuse happening inside the orphanage. Kids are essentially being shackled to the walls in the basement and put in holes and tortured in water barrels and all these kinds of things. And so when we go into the orphanage, we're sitting in a room and we start hearing like a knocking noise that's coming from the room next to us. And so we actually have a tour guide who was once again a really great tour guide. Like we had 3 really good tour guides for all the tours and investigations we did. And someone was like, "Can we go in there and investigate?" And the one was like, "Well, we don't go in there on this tour, but," and she's like, "I've never really been in there, but a couple times, but let's go." Well, it turns out it's the chapel. So, it kind of looks like a church room. We go down the steps, we go sit in the pews. And then all of us, as many know who watch the show, I've dabbled around with sensitivity, but I'm not like Jenny or, other mediums we have on the show where I'm fully open and do all this stuff. So it was really weird because I had heard somebody talk about it earlier and they had gotten really upset about the woman. Well, I don't want to sound heartless, but I'm a historian. And so I talk constantly about horrible things that human beings have done to each other throughout history. It's kind of my job. Like every day I have to tell people about horrible things that have happened. And in some ways kind of make light of it and kind of maybe try to joke about it in a way that's not horrible, right? Like you try to have fun learning history, and bad things happen in human history. So I thought maybe the person who was talking about it seemed to be kind of, I thought in the moment was being a little too sensitive about it. Like, this happened 100 and something years ago. Like, children weren't treated the same like pre-Victorian age as they are now, all these kinds of things. Well, as we're sitting in the chapel, I kind of sense like a black shadow that's moved to the top of the doorway coming into the chapel. And as our guide is telling us about what has happened at this orphanage, I got really angry, like super, like I almost started, like I was getting ready to start shouting. And I had to stop myself. And in my brain, I was thinking, dude, like, we're there as like guests with Sam, to like help runs, to help out and everything. And I'm like, I'm going to make like a fool of myself. I'm going to start yelling at somebody who's not there and like act the fool or whatever. But then I started realizing like what was happening. Like I was getting irrationally angry. And so the only thing I can determine is that something there, I don't know what exactly happened there. I don't know if that was some kind of empathetic thing that took over, like an empathy thing, or whether that was something jumping me.
That
maybe
wasn't
to a certain extent.
You weren't the only person having that experience. There was multiple people in our group that were having the same thing happen.
Yeah, because I got way angrier than I think I would have gotten. And the only reason I say that, not because it wasn't horrible things, but just because I talk about horrible things in history a lot.
Yeah.
But that specifically, I had to stop myself from shouting out. And even as I was telling myself, don't yell, idiot, I almost did it anyway. Like I couldn't stop myself.
Yeah.
And then I just started saying that. Like I feel like I really want to like I had to say something, or I think I would have. Yeah. So that was I left there. Yeah. That's a crazy place. And we didn't spend very much time there.
No, we weren't.
And there
there
was
really.
a whole lot that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what did you think about that room specifically?
Well, there was a lot of stuff going on in there with everybody, and we don't have enough time to talk about all of it. So we're going to have to talk about the rest of it another time. But it was a very rough place to be.
Yeah.
CMC would like to remind us it's the top of the hour.
Yeah, we're almost there. 9 o'clock, almost 9 o'clock on the East Coast. We are tonight the spooky hours. Normally we're known as the witching hours, but tonight is the 4-year anniversary of the witching hours and our Halloween special. So you have joined us since the beginning of the show.
That's why I'm wearing a mushroom.
Welcome in. Yeah, she's not normally dressed like a mushroom.
I had a mustache.
I'm not a cat.
Yeah, I'm not a cat.
I'm not a cat. That's still, I think, my favorite COVID era thing that happened.
I'm not a mushroom.
I'm not a mushroom. Yeah, welcome in. I want to thank again everybody. We hit a level 2 hype train earlier.
We did. We had 4 subs
again
and 200 bits.
Yeah, CMC Airboss, Honeybee Kimberly, Keisha with the sub and give sub, Shadow Max. Thank you everyone who contributed so much. We really do appreciate it. And it's it's only because of everyone who's in here tonight that we're celebrating 4 years.
Yes.
So it's amazing that you guys have been around and shown up here there for a while on Thursdays and now every Monday and once a month and now once a week. And it's just like I'm flabbergasted. So thank you guys so much for showing up each and every week and checking us out and for checking us out over on YouTube and all the places where we are, because we've just hit so many, we've done so many things that we never thought we would be able to do. And it just keeps growing and growing. And we're super excited to have you all
like going to the
along for the ride.
Baltimore Hotel next year.
Yeah, going to Lord Baltimore Hotel.
We have a quick guest. We have a quick chat ghost story. A Bloomy said we had a ghost who walked through our hall every night. I could hear her. Blonde lady in a white dress. Why do they always got to have a white dress? All the kids could see her, but I could only hear her. We had a lot of experiences in that house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Lady walking the hall.
In your house. Wow. Yeah. We've lived in some haunted houses, but we haven't had a lady that we could see. That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Yes.
All right. So we got to share a little bit of our Gettysburg stories tonight.
Yeah, there's more. We'll have to talk about it another time.
Yeah. So I guess the next thing we had is we do have a couple of previous guests from our show.
We do.
That decided to share some of their spooky stories with us tonight. Are we ready to do that? If you are watching the show or hanging out with us now, then you already know Medium Jenny Lee. But did you know you can book a private session, explore her spiritual services, or check out her latest content all in one place? Head over to mediumjennylee.com. Whether you're seeking guidance, answers from beyond, or just curious about what the spirit world has to say, Jenny offers personal readings, mentorship, and more. Don't miss your chance to connect directly. Visit mediumjennylee.com and take the next step on your spiritual journey. Your journey to the weird is just a click away.
Yes.
All right. So the first one is from our friend, Sam Baltrusis. And so he wanted to share one of his spooky stories. Oh. Wrong button.
False.
Hey, Frosty and Jenny from The Witching Hours. This is Sam Baltrusis, and this is my ghost story. And I'll tell you, it happened several years ago and it still kind of haunts me. So I'm the author of 20 paranormal themed books, including Ghosts of Salem, which is my bestseller. And while I was working on my second book on Salem called Wicked Salem, I was working at a allegedly non-haunted hotel right in the downtown area of Salem, Massachusetts. But I say allegedly because I had a pretty profound paranormal experience while working the overnight shift. So one night I was working, it was because it was brand new, there wasn't a lot of guests at this brand new hotel. And I was working at the front desk and I saw what looked like a cloud of black smoke sort of emerge from the lobby. And what's interesting about it is it was waiting for the elevator. It goes into the elevator and then it goes down to the basement, and the thing is, the basement was off limits and it was completely under construction. So there was no reason for a guest or anyone to go down into the basement. You also needed a special code to be able to go to the basement. So I follow this black cloud of smoke thinking that maybe it was somehow a trick or something inexplainable like dust. I go down into the basement and there was tarps everywhere and there was like sawdust and stuff on the floor. The lights were oddly kind of flickering, like it was leading me to the back area downstairs that was completely under construction. And this was around 3 a.m, like the witching hour, of course. And I heard what sounded like a moaning noise coming from the walls. And for those that don't know the whole backstory in Salem, there's supposedly tunnels that are beneath these buildings on Essex Street, and it's a legend, and they say that the ghosts and nefarious things happen in these underground tunnels, but I never really thought much of it because I don't think it's true. But I do know that this location specifically had tunnels connecting other parts of the building because it was a former department store. So that made complete sense. So I said, okay, maybe someone's down in one of the tunnels, or maybe they're next door. There was a bookstore literally next door to the hotel and I knew the owners. So I thought maybe someone was inside there and I was just hearing noises from next door. So then I heard something that really kind of startled me. It sounded like metal and someone was banging the metal. And okay, I'm like, someone's breaking in, something's going on. So I run upstairs to check out the bookstore next door. I look into the window, it's complete darkness. And then I saw something that continues to haunt me. I saw a man with a hat and red glowing eyes. And before you say, oh, it's the Hat Man, I don't think it was what we all know as the Hat Man. I strongly believe maybe it's somehow connected to me because I've seen him since then, but this is the first time I saw him. And so I stare into his eyes, frozen, completely frozen. This is 3 a.m. I'm, completely stressed out from work and stressed out like what's going on. And then we kind of connected and we telepathically said, we're talking to each other. And he was like, can you see me? And I'm like, yes, I can see you. So I kind of panic and then I run back to the hotel. I was just in shock. Maybe I don't know, like in a dream state or something. So the thing is, this entity that I saw, I was working on my book on Wicked Salem, and it turns out right after that, I found that I was related to the Putnam family, who were major accusers during the Salem witch trials. So somehow I think it's related to that, and maybe it was a family member. I will say that I see him before tragedy happens in my family. So it's almost like my own personal harbinger. Before my biological dad died, I saw him. And also, this was right before my stepdad, Paul, passed away. So I think it was kind of like a harbinger or family warning that a family member was going to pass. But I will say I did see him for the third time. And this was right before I had a fire that destroyed my apartment. He was in my apartment. The 2 times I saw him before, it was in Salem while giving tours or either working the overnight shift in Salem. The third time was in my apartment, and I saw him come through the wall, and I'm like, no, you need to get back. And the next day there was a fire that destroyed my apartment. So that's my story. Happy spooky season. Bye, guys.
Good Lord Almighty.
Go.
A hat man with red
right?
eyes. Yeah.
Hat Man. It's really interesting because over the years, I think that has been the most common thing that people will tell me that they have seen.
A guy with a hat.
What? Red eyes.
Oh, the red eyes. Yeah.
Like a shadow person specifically.
Yeah.
Sometimes the hat, sometimes the red eyes. But I've had multiple people tell me that since they were a child, they've seen something with red eyes.
Our child has seen something with red eyes.
Yeah, into adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always been an interesting thing to me.
Well, me and Danica made a joke about that at Hanover Tavern the first year we went. That red is also the color for love. So maybe they're just trying to love us.
Yeah. Well, in that case with Sam, he's saying he thought it might be an ancestor or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's interesting.
I'm just trying to love you.
Did he talk about his family, maybe related to the Putnams who were accusers in the Salem witch trials? Did he mention that when he was on before?
I don't think so. I do remember him talking about the hat guy before, but I don't remember him talking about the ancestry connection.
And Sam is one of those people. If you want to have some paranormal activity, if you hang out with Sam, I think you're going to get some.
He always has weird stuff.
It's always stuff going on, for sure. CMC mentioned, he said he drove by Salem last week and it was getting more and more crowded as Halloween approaches. I have seen videos of Salem from this week or from last week. And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'll go like in the summertime or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Halloween there all year round, so you can really go anytime.
Yeah.
I would love to go on Halloween, but no way. I think
we went in March.
No, it was in June.
No, we went for spring break.
Oh, I thought we went during
it was March or April. Break. No, March or April is when we went. Anyway, this episode is going to be a long one because we are not anywhere near being done with what we need to do. So Frosty was saying thank you to everybody a little while ago at the top of the hour. And now we want to say thank you even more. We have a special video for you that Frosty has painstakingly made this weekend, followed by a merch giveaway. So when we get to the merch giveaway, if you have won previously some not Team Weird, this is the Witching Hours. If you have previously won some Witching Hours merch before, we're going to ask that you don't submit your name for this one because we'd like to have other people get a chance to win something. But we're going to do that very soon. First, Frosty, let's watch your fun anniversary video.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to the Halloween special. There's always going to be technical difficulties when you start something new. Do you like my hat? I like my hat. So, for those of you who don't know, this is Gina the Frost. It's my significant other. He happens to be upstairs from me right now. And we're here tonight to share some ghost stories. Hello, everybody. It's been a whole year since we have started the Witching Hours. Halloween is the first episode. And here we are again with some special guests. We have Michael Myers, Jason, and me and Lynn.
Joining me, as always, on this Halloween special is Medium Jenny Lee. How are you doing, Jenny? This is the Spooky Hours.
We have a lot of friends here tonight.
A lot of friends. Yes, welcome in, everyone.
Hosters, Roly Poly, Mr. Weird, Priestess of Wonderland.
Hey, Hellspot Queen. So, hello, Rose. I'm doing good today. Hey, Little Wang. Salty Frogs here. Frosty has found some recent paranormal news for us to start out our evening. Go for it, Frosty.
But first, it's time for the paranormal news.
Halloween clowns back on the loose again. I think we remember it was 2016 in the UK. They had
It's been that long ago already?
a man wearing a creepy clown costume was seen walking in the streets at night, possibly giving neighbors a shock in the run up to Halloween. And the final story for tonight is high school students in Bohol Town possessed by evil spirits.
Oh, really?
Up to 14 students were allegedly possessed by an evil spirit.
Time and death are on pause for some people in Scottsdale, Arizona. Inside, tanks filled with liquid nitrogen are the bodies and heads of 199 humans who opted to be cryopreserved in hopes of being revived in the future when science has advanced beyond what it is capable of today.
We wanted to let you know that you still have time to share your stories with us. You can always share them in chat.
We went to visit family and they had bought their house a year prior. The wife thought she heard noises, but I never felt anything. So we stayed over one night and slept on the floor in the basement. I woke up in the night feeling stared at. I looked up and there was a woman in the doorway just staring at us. I panicked, but I couldn't do anything and went to sleep again. A year later, they were redoing the basement and found what appeared to be human bones in concrete under the basement stairs.
I hear them run back up through the house and turn into the hallway. And I was like, my heart was racing, my adrenaline was kicked in because nobody's supposed to be there. And I have no idea what is happening. And I just know that somebody is going to come running into my view in the doorway.
And standing right beside the closet is the girl. So now she is in the room with me.
She's come in the house.
I was knocked out, middle of the night. I don't even know what time it was. And I get woken up and she's now on top of me. She is screaming in my face, but she's not, you can't hear the screams. So all I see is like this like open mouth and screaming at me. And I don't know what I can't do anything.
It was late at night. I woke up, turned myself around, and I saw a silhouette of a girl with a dress holding a flower. It scared me, so I put myself under the blankets. Not long after, I wake up again, thinking it was a dream. So I take the blankets down, and the same thing, still standing there. And then I was terrified, so I got back under the blankets and went back to sleep.
We think Sarah should not have been kept down here. She was not that sick.
Keisha has left us with the most important information of all for the evening. You kids be careful when you look up whiskey butt plugs.
Good luck, everybody.
What I was saying was, it's our anniversary.
There's no doubt about it. This is weird.
Whiskey butt plugs? What in the heck?
I don't know if I remember the context of that.
What were we talking about? Keisha said I'm a sage with my advice.
So 4 years of that. 4 years of that. There we go.
4 years of that, yeah.
Of weirdness.
I'm very happy to say that I've never worn the same costume twice.
You need to bring that hat back.
I do like
the hat was pretty
like
cool. The hat was nice. Maybe next year. Make a note of it.
Somewhere around here. Oh, I think little Mama borrowed it last year. Who knows where it is now?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the yard somewhere. I didn't. So I don't know if you realized or not, but our very first show, The Witching Hours, I was wearing this shirt.
You're wearing the
So there we
same
go.
shirt.
Oh wow.
You'll float too. Yeah.
Ay.
Which I'm super excited with, by the way. I've been telling everybody I haven't watched it yet. I'm super excited to watch Welcome to Derry, probably more than any other show I've seen.
Yes, if you don't stop talking about it. Okay.
So there we go. Okay.
We are going to do a merch giveaway. Frosty, will you show us what kind of merch people are going to be offered here?
Let me share my screen here. If I can bring that up, I want to add, and I want to share my screen, and I want to do the all products here because we're going to show you. No, that is not correct.
No signal. Wah, wah.
Give me 1 second. We are going to figure this out.
Amscraft said that the Welcome to Derry is disturbing.
Well, that's what I'm looking for.
It's supposed to be, right?
That's what I'm looking for.
All right, let me try this again. I'm going to share.
You can do it.
I'm going to do, no, we're not doing that. We're doing, there we go. So if you go, we have a fourth wall store, and we have links all kinds of places. The easiest place to get to our store is to go to the witchinghourspodcast.com, where you can find all of our upcoming guests. We have all of our guests listed all the way into like January. So if you want to see who we have coming up on the show, that is the number one place to go to be able to find out all the cool guests we're going to have coming up and what we're going to be talking about on our shows. But you can also find our store from there. And, well, this is what we have. We have a Loyal to the Foil hoodie here, which was designed by Keisha. We have the Witching Hours patch. We have the shirt. We have a Want to Get Weird mouse pad, desk pad. We have a couple different mugs, one of which has like the UFO over the trees on it. And then also like the ceramic mug with the different colors inside, which come with different colors. We have another Want to Get Weird shirt there. You can get in gray or black. So Want to Get Weird on the back, the Witching Hours logo on the front, and then also the beanie. So that's what we have in our store currently.
So if you would like to enter to win your choice of a piece of Witching Hours merch, and you have not previously won something from the Witching Hours merch giveaways, please put your name in the chat. Say me. Yes, please. Something.
Let's do something a little more formal. Let's do spooky.
Spooky. Okay, you got to put the word spooky in there. Put the word spooky in. Although Amscraft, I already got you. All right, A Bloomy, I see you. Got you, Amscraft. Chico. Journey, Kel. All right. Who else? Get it in there quick. Spooky. If you have not previously won Witching Hours merch, you would like a chance to win.
Because I forgot we even had this set up, but I should mention because it says right here on the page that if you're a Twitch sub, you get 10% off.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
So if you don't win tonight and you're a Twitch sub, you can go get yourself a piece of merch, 10% off.
It is that holiday shopping time of year.
All right,
that's what I want for Christmas.
You want some Witching Hours merch for Christmas.
Yeah, I have to buy my own stuff. So,
all right, I have Amscraft, A Bloomy, Chico, Kel, Journey. Anybody else? CMC is already enjoying a Team Weird coffee cup. I think Hosters has won something before, and Luce always wins everything. Keisha has some Team Weird, some Witching Hours merch.
Yeah, including What's the Music. So yeah,
Luce always wins. Yeah. And Alyson has a Loyal to the Foil tank top. We made a tank top just for Alyson. She's the only one who got a tank top. All right, Frosty, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can spin the wheel.
Go ahead.
Okay. Here we go. Wheel of Weirdos. All right, we're going to shuffle. And
It's
let's
not
see.
showing. Hold on. It's not showing.
It's showing for me.
Oh,
I
is
see it.
Oh, I don't see it. Okay.
It's up.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Good luck, everybody. Which weirdo gets the Witching Hours merch? It's Journey. Congratulations. Woo! Journey, if you will kindly share, of course, privately, what item you would like, if it requires a color or a size, and your address, please. And we will get your Witching Hours. I keep wanting to say Team Weird. We will get your Witching Hours merch out in the mail to you. Congratulations, Journey. Yep. Yay.
Yay.
Excellent. Congratulations. Yeah, just message me in Discord. Let me know and we'll get it sent out.
And there's the link again if you need to go find the page so you can look at the things. Hosters gave us 123 fake address, street at fake state, fake country. Yay. Frosty needs to share his most recent story before we end. Which one, Wanderer? There's been a lot of weird things happening in our house.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since the baby was born, there's been a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of activities since we've had the baby in the house, which has been really interesting. So,
the door.
Yeah, I will share that story. So, I was sitting right here, as I normally do. Not only is this my home for the Witching Hours, but this tends to be my home if I'm hanging out when I have downtime, whether I'm playing video games or watching movies or whatever. So I happened to be in here one night. I don't remember what I was doing. I was probably watching YouTube videos or something. I think it might have been a Friday night when Jenny was streaming. So anyway, I'm sitting here. Well, this is like...
No, we were playing Stardew.
Oh, okay. That's right. We were playing sort of a Foombi and Little Wang.
Yeah, Little Wang.
So right beside me here, which I can open to be able to see, is a door to the garage. And so I was sitting here and all of a sudden I felt something kind of move behind me and the garage door opened and the door opened so kind of forcibly that when it came up, it kind of hit my chair and like bumped me. Like kind of forcibly kind of jolted me. And I just assumed that it was the Wanderer, like coming to get something out of the garage because I felt someone move past me. But the door had kind of hit my chair so hard that I was like I felt like I needed to like be like, hey, like what's going on? Like just don't knock the door into my chair, like kind of thing. So as the door is open, I kind of look into the garage and I realize, just like it is now, it is dark out there.
Which we have a motion sensor light. So
and
if someone was in the garage, the light would have turned on.
Wow.
So yeah, so that was something I didn't realize till later, but it was dark in the garage. And there was the second you walk into the garage, the light comes on. And there was no light on. And so I very quickly realized that there was nobody in the garage. And my mind did not go to ghost or anything at that point. I was like, so there's also a door on the outside of the garage. And sometimes if one of the doors isn't completely shut all the way, when you shut the other door will pop open.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, maybe he went out the back door. And when he shut that door, it made this one pop open, except that nobody was out. Both of them were like in their room asleep, or in their room. And then the only other person who was up and about was Jenny.
And we were playing Stardew.
Together.
And everybody was like, I think Foombi was like, Rusty, are you okay? What happened? Did he fall asleep? I was like, he's like, the door just opened. Like, yeah, it was
interesting because I can't explain it. I can't explain how it would have happened. But we've been having other activity in our house too.
Yes.
So But we don't think that it's anything. We think that there's a lot of stuff here to see the baby.
Mm-hmm. I was told that the baby has his own team of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're hanging around, and we've seen one of them multiple times. Yeah.
Seen.
Yeah. I saw it in my mind's eye, but Wander has seen it with his eyes.
Wow.
And it's a tall male. And to me, he has like warrior vibes. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on.
Not surprising, a baby was born into the family, and the baby's also apparently, we have a haunted baby.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe just having life come into the world opens up things, or makes it thinner, easier access. Just like when someone dies.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're coming in or going out.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. Yeah.
We have a lot of people in our home right now. And I think just about everyone has had some kind of experience lately.
Yeah.
Wow.
So So
Bloomy it is. It's the protecting him. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
all right.
If we get more, we'll share. So the next thing we have up tonight.
Okay. Well, hold on a second, Frosty.
Okay.
So normally our show would be ending in 3 minutes.
Yes.
We have quite a long story from our friend Steve Dills. So this show is gonna run over today, and there's nothing that can be done about it.
Yes.
Because we're not gonna show Steve's story.
We used to go to 10 o'clock anyway.
We did.
This is a short show now, anyhow.
So just be prepared. Yeah, we're in overtime now.
I'm paid extra.
It's our anniversary time. It's our anniversary stream. So we're gonna do extra stuff tonight. There is a great question from Journey about our haunted baby situation, though. Have the pets been on more alert? Let me tell you, Journey, the dog was in here right behind me one day, not that long after the baby was born, looking up at something in the ceiling and barking at it. And I was like, what do you see that I can't see?
And she's not really a barker.
No.
Yeah.
Since she was watching something move around the ceiling and barking at it. Yes. Yes. All right, Frosty, go ahead and give us a little input about this next story that we're getting ready to watch.
Yeah. So for those who aren't familiar, Jenny went out with Transcend Paranormal, and they went to Hall's Tavern.
You did too.
Well, you going to talk about it, or you want me to talk about it?
You going to talk about it? I'm going to talk about it.
So she was invited out to do medium readings at Hall's Tavern for the evening. And, I was just expecting her to go. And then Steve had been like, hey, make sure you bring Frosty along or whatever. And if he comes to help out, which I did, help out with Transcend Paranormal, do their paranormal, kind of like some paranormal investigation classes that night, then he would give me a spooky story for the witching hours.
Yes.
Or for the spooky hours. So I went out. We had a great time. I think we've already kind of talked about that on stream. Jimmy had a great time. I had a great time. And after the evening had wound down and everyone had kind of left, I was able to sit down with Steve and Chris from Transcend Paranormal. And they shared with me their spookiest, strangest paranormal experience that they've ever had. And I'll just say, they've both done a lot of investigations. So this is a pretty crazy story. It is a long one. And I will say, they talk about the state of Indiana on this video. And my dad is originally from Indiana, Frosty Sr. And so I had mentioned something the other day, and he was wanting to talk to me about this weekend because he knows the place that they're talking about.
Oh, really?
So let's go ahead and check it out.
I had the opportunity to head out to Indiana, to the Randolph County Asylum, to film for an episode of The Ghost Finders. So we did. We get on set, and Randolph County Asylum is amazing. It was a really fun location to explore. And we investigated for the show. We investigated. And it was really cool. But while we were there, we really wanted to, investigate minus the cameras, like actually, investigate. Because a lot of times when you're investigating for like an episode for something, you use a lot of equipment that's visual. And we like to go more into the data side. So we asked if we could stay and investigate Randolph County Asylum that evening after we filmed. And they had a team booked, I think, that was going to come in. So... we're like, man, like we drove all the way out here to Indiana and we just don't have any place to investigate. And so the owner, Dan Allen, walked up and he was like, listen, he's like, you guys can't stay here to investigate tonight, but I do have a location in this next town over. If you guys want to come investigate it, you're more than welcome to. And so we hopped in the car, got to the next town over, and it was this tiny little, like, just a regular church. Like nothing stand crazy out about it. Like it was in this tiny little town. There were, neighborhoods surrounding it everywhere, all these little houses and everything. And here's this little church. And so we pull up and I'm like, Chris, do we have the right address? Like this doesn't seem right. And then finally Dan pulls up and we're like, oh, thank God. Okay. We're in the right spot. So we get out of the car, grab the equipment. And Dan tells us, hey, you guys are going to be some of the first folks to investigate this location. Don't post anything quite yet. I don't have it out there quite yet. And, in the world that I'm owning this location and I'm going to be doing, whatever with it. And so, so we don't have any paranormal history, no idea of what we're walking into. Dan has never investigated. Like literally it is fresh meat walking into a location. We go in there, start filming because we're running cameras just to not to cut an episode, but maybe something happens. And I asked Dan, I'm like, Dan, you've got a haunted asylum, you've got a jail, you've got this Victorian manor over here. Like, why did you buy this little nondescript church in the middle of this, this little town? And he's like, well, because of its history. Does history happen in Indiana? Apparently it does. And that's when Dan tells us that it was
the church that Jim Jones went to till he was 16 years old.
So when we realized that we were at Jim Jones's childhood church, we were inside of Jim Jones's childhood church. And so, Chris and I, being the very wise individuals that we are, just said, when in Rome. And so we had a fair amount of the cast and crew from the Ghost Finders there. And so I took a couple of folks downstairs to the basement. And Chris decided that it was in his best interest to go upstairs alone by himself. And so we're walking around in the basement and we hear this loud thud come from the floor above us. And the only way that I can explain it is it sounded like a body just dropped, just horizontally, thud. And it was so prevalent that everyone in the basement heard it, and I captured on video what looked like the ceiling tiles, because it was a drop ceiling in the basement. The ceiling tiles shake. And so my immediate thought is Chris ate it walking down the stairs, and now he's lying on the floor in a vegetative state. And so we're all like, what was that? What was that? So we all run upstairs and we're yelling, Chris, did you guys hear anything? Did you hear anything? So on and so on and forth. A couple seconds later, Chris comes running down the stairs and he's like, you guys okay? Did you hear that? Because not only did we hear it and experience it downstairs, but Chris also felt it on the floor. You felt it vibrating.
I felt it in my feet and also got the same thud on camera as him.
So after everybody calms down, we kind of rally again, and we come to the conclusion, like, we should figure out where did this sound occur? Where did we hear this? Can we get a good idea? And maybe let's investigate there. And so we start exploring the main floor, and we realize that there is this small room behind the main
Sanctuary.
This really tiny room right behind it. When you walked into that room, it felt very, very different than the rest of the building. It felt heavy. And so what do we do as investigators? This is the place. This is the white people response. We're going to where all this is happening. So we plop down and we do an Esty session.
So Brittany and I, we were asking the question Steve was under, and it started out normal. It started out typical, like a normal Estes would be, and then all of a sudden it just started to get heavy, and you could feel the heaviness like in your chest and just the atmosphere around you. And Steve started to talk about like stabbing, like either stabbing us or stabbing like family members that we have, and then started counting backwards, counting forwards, counting just randomly, and then realized that it was going at the same time that the temperature was changing. On top of that, there was a tripwire off to the side, and every time it would flick, I would look. And at one point, he said, "Well, did you see that, Chris?" And I said, "Yeah." And then all of a sudden, like he was like, "I'm in this closet," and so I walk over to the closet, and he immediately goes, "Don't go in there. Don't come near me. Don't come near me." And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna come near you." And we have this back and forth, and I feel this like sickness and this really pressure into my chest. And about that time is when we tapped him out. I'm just like, I'm not feeling good. Like, I felt nauseous. I did not feel good and did not want to be in that room. I walked out. Everyone came in. You went under,
and then you were back in there in like 3 minutes or so. You weren't in and out.
Yeah,
you weren't very long.
So I walked back in, and I'm not even in the room yet. I'm standing in the doorway, and he's under. He can't see me. He can't hear me, and he immediately goes, "Welcome back, Chris." And as soon as that happened, everything changed back to that deep, dark, heavy sensation. And I saw this shadow off to the right, and I turned and I looked, and he immediately said, "You saw me." And I'm like, oh boy. It started to wrap up again, and we got him out.
And I don't remember any of the next bits and bobbles. At some point while I was under, it felt like I was co-host of my own body. Like if you're hosting a podcast and you've got two co-hosts, that's what it felt like with one microphone. And so I don't like it. Just felt like I was on autopilot. I don't remember much of what happens next.
So we wrap up, and everyone was in agreement. It's like, hey, I think we should just we're done. Like, we're done for the night. That was weird. Everything doesn't feel right. There's a lot of people that are sick, and so
we're gonna go back to the hotel, and Patty was going to cleanse everybody.
And so while we're packing up, nobody's actually watching Steve. And he ends up...
Nobody put the leash back on me.
No, so like he's just wandering around like a little lost puppy, but nobody's paying attention because it's Steve, and that's what he does. And so at one point he's standing at the pulpit, where like a pastor would preach a sermon, and he's standing there looking like at the altar, looking like he's ready to go, like he's ready to start spitting brimfire at you, and we were like, "Man, Steve, like you look like you're ready." And he's just like no expression, nothing like that. Next thing I know, he's wandered upstairs a little bit, and then he comes back downstairs a little bit, and we go back to packing everything up. And then next thing you know, we're all like, "Where's Steve? Where's Steve at?" And when you walk into the sanctuary off to the right, there's a small room, and he was standing in the threshold of that door, not doing anything, just standing there. Brittany had hollered for him about 3-4 times, unresponsive. He goes in that room. Everybody runs towards him. But as the best friend that I am, I ran to the camera and I grabbed the camera because everything has to be caught on film. And so I grabbed the camera.
Paranormal caught on camera.
Paranormal caught on cam. But I grabbed the camera and I'm weaving my way through the people, and I put it in his face like Blair Witch style, and I'm like, Steve, you all right? You good? And he looks down and looks at me, and there's no coloration in his eyes. It is just white, black, and he just looks at me. He goes, yeah, I'm good. And I'm like, I think we should go. And he's like, okay. And I bring him back into the sanctuary, we get all our stuff, and we get out those doors. Everybody kind of was like, man, that was really weird. Like, I'll see y'all back at the hotel. You know, everybody left at that point. Steve and I were just standing there, and the entire time he's telling me, hey, we need to go back in. We need to go back in. And I'm like, no, we can't go back in. And he goes, we should break in. I need to go back in there. I need to go back in there. And I said, no, we need to go. We need to go.
And I'm not the type to like there are so many historic buildings that I'd love to go and see, but like I'm not trying to go to jail to see them. So that's not relatively normal for me in any imagination to be like, let's go break in somewhere.
So we head back to the hotel. Patty cleanses us. Everything. We think everything's fine. Get back home.
And it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
We decide that we're going to film our YouTube series, Eerie Encounters.
Yeah.
And so we go to the very first location, and we end up at the Hanover Arts and Activities Center in downtown Ashland, Virginia. All right, so we're very far away. We go in the Hanover Arts and Activities Center. Let me preface this. Was in its original life a church. It was the first Baptist church, I think, in Ashland. And so as such, it has been there a long time. And we start having quite a bit of activity, more activity than we normally do for the center. I mean, seeing apparitions outside in the windows, hearing things, pretty, apparent. That's a lot. And so we decide at some point we're going to go and investigate the basement, because like, who doesn't investigate creepy basements? So the basement of the center is utilized as a daycare center, child care center. And so we're down there, and I decide that I'm going to go under and do another SD session. Well, the first for the evening, but the first since we had been back from Indiana. And so I go under, and let's preface this and state that the church that we were at in Indiana was known as the Lighthouse. That was the name of the church because there was this big statue of a lighthouse that stood outside of the building, so they referred to it as the Lighthouse.
So he goes under and asking the normal questions, who are you, who do you know here, blah blah blah, the normal paranormal investigator questions. And then he I asked, well, are you from here? And he says no. I said, well, where are you from? And he goes, where? And I said, no, I don't. And he goes, the Lighthouse. And immediately, like, my gut dropped. And I was like, lighthouse? I've never been to a lighthouse. I was trying to play it off. I've never been to a lighthouse. What lighthouse you talking about? And he went, Lynn. I said, Lynn, Indiana. And I was like, all right. And about that time, right after that, this AC unit that had been running all night and never made a noise, and we have been there multiple times, it's never made a noise, made the biggest, loudest, harshest bang I've ever heard. We both jumped, not him because he's under, but like Melissa and I, we both jump and we're like, what the heck was that? And he goes, that was me. And so about that time, like, I'm starting to get angry because I'm like, I want to know what this thing is. And so I start pestering. And like, I'm just getting more and more angry because it's not giving me the answers I want. And so finally I pull him out. He was like, that was not good at all. That didn't feel good. It felt like the same way back in Lynn. Well, we both agreed that I think that was we wrapped for the night. So before the Estes started, we were down there just kind of filming and joking about stuff. And there's this little door, and
it's like for a kid.
It's for like a child, like play. Yeah, like a little castle door. And he was like, "You should go through it. It'd be funny." I was like, "Okay, whatever."
As our intro, like welcome to Eerie Encounters, and it's just him busting through this tiny child door.
So like, I open the door and I go through it all creepily, like, and then we go through and do the Estes, wrap up for the night. Then we have a public investigation at the Hanover Tavern in Ashland, Virginia. We have a group, and we're up on the 3rd floor, and Steve is way down on the hall. I'm in a completely different part of the 3rd floor. I can still hear everything. I can still ask questions, but there were so many people. He goes, "Hello, Chris," and I said, "Hey, how's it going?" He goes, "I want to play a game." And I said, "Oh, okay, what game do you want to play?" I said, "You want to play tag?" And I was like, "You want to play hide and seek?" And when I said seek, him and I said it in unison. And I was like, that was kind of weird, but whatever. And I was like, okay, well then I'll find you first. Are you behind this door? Knock if you're behind this door. Nothing. And I was like, well, are you behind this door? And he says no. And then I said, well, what? These are the only doors right here. Well, where are you? And he goes, the small door. And again, everything in my body just dropped. And I knew exactly right then and there what it was, where it was from, and that it was going to take over anything that him and I do together.
And it did for a couple of months. Every time we would do an SD session, that's literally what we would get. The little door, the little red door, the lighthouse, Indiana, play a game. And it all resonated back to the church in Indiana. It got so bad that I had pretty much hung up my hat. Like I was done. I didn't want to investigate anymore because I'm like, what? This is all I'm getting, and every time,
it's the same thing. It was nothing new. There was nothing but you need to take me back. You have to take me back. I can't.
Yeah, let's go back.
Let's go back. You need to go back. And it was the same thing. It just overpowered everything. And like Steve said, it was to the point where him and I both were just
dreading it.
Done.
Because it was creepy. I mean, something was following us literally from states away all the way back home. We were having things happen in our houses. I mean, it just didn't stop. It wouldn't stop until Brittany, she had the opportunity to go back. And so she was filming with 2 other folks, and she texted us. She's like, I'm back at the church. And luckily, Chris and I were both able to catch her and FaceTime her, and they said a prayer on site with us, and we kind of reestablished our dominance. Like, you have to stop. We can't do this anymore. And it somehow subsided. Now, the after effects is every time we share this story, stuff like this pops back up again. We shared it around this time last year for a TV show, and we're sharing it again, so we'll probably have something happen. But
we've both kind of come to an agreement that if we are doing an SD session together, whether I'm under or he's under, if anything comes through that's like that, we ignore it. We
or we pull the plug. It's done.
Yeah, either one of the two, because we're done. We're not playing this game anymore.
Yeah, and that is probably to date, that probably freaked me the most out because of how prevalent it was and how dominant it took over every investigation. And it wasn't just that, it was everything. You dreaded it. You didn't want to do it. And it was pretty rough for a while. And that is our creepy story.
So there we go. You're muted, Jenny.
That's a heck of a story.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to them telling it when we were there, so that was my first time hearing it too.
Mm-hmm. I told you it was going to be worth listening to.
Yeah.
It was a long one, but I was like, it's worth it. It's a crazy story.
Yeah. I hope that nothing else has happened to them since.
I know we'll have to.
Telling it.
It's all Frosty's fault. Telling me your creepiest story.
He volunteered.
Yeah.
You know, they could have told me another story. That's
They could have.
That's the one they decided to tell me.
They decided.
But we will ask the next time we see him. And you know, the thing that really struck me about the story, not that I would think that of anybody anyway, but you know, I've had the chance to investigate that night with them, and just kind of knowing Steve from what I know with Transcend Paranormal and Hanover Tavern Paracon, like they're very much like your investigators who are trying to disprove.
Yes, very straight-laced.
Yeah,
Steve is like not one, you know, like not feeding into any woo-woo stuff, really. Like taking what's really coming through. So for them to share that story and be like, you know, this was beyond what we could handle and we didn't know what was happening, that really says a lot.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, be careful about where you investigate, and all, you know, the cleansing part of it. It's always a big part. Like a lot of people, I've noticed already at Paranormal Investigations that a lot of people don't do any kind of protection or cleansing, and I'm always the first one. I always volunteer Jenny. Jenny will do. Like, let's make sure. But, you know, they had Patty Negri and she did a cleansing. And so, you know, she's a pretty, you know, well-known, you know, so, and like they said, I don't know, is it even gone? You know, like,
I don't know.
Yeah. I was kind of confused, like, cause their friend went back. They think that it went with her somehow.
It seemed like it seemed like from what they were saying that interaction of her being there and them getting together on a FaceTime, like doing a prayer for this spirit, like had the energy shift and subside. But then when they talk about it, it tends to come back.
I think they need to go back.
That's what he was saying, right? The spirit said, you need to take me back.
Yeah.
Take me back. I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I would like to thank, you know, Chris and Steve for sharing that story. Transcend Paranormal, great group of people. Of course, we always talk so highly about the Hanover Tavern. Paracon will be there again this year. So thank you guys for sharing the story and helping us out with the spooky hours.
Yes, and thank you to Sam Baltrusis for sharing his spooky hat man with the red eyes, probably a family member guy. That's like, I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
Yeah, right. He's around all the time. Yeah.
And of course, thank you to the Priestess of Wonderland for coming on and hanging out with us and giving us all of the moon phase craziness for November. And thank you to all of you for being here with us into the overtime of tonight's
the long version
episode.
It's a special episode.
It is.
Yeah, it's a special one. Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for everything for 4 years, and congratulations to Journey again for winning I keep saying Team Weird, the Witching Hours merch. Don't forget to let us know which one you want.
It is Team Weird merch. It's just a different kind of Team Weird merch.
Yeah.
So as an update, next week, we're going to have Lori Reffelt back on. We're going to talk more about her experiences at Rendlesham Forest and the famous, probably after Roswell, the most famous UFO case there. We're going to talk more about her experiences. The 10th of November, we have Colleen McCann coming on to talk about style rituals, the clash of meaning between style and spirituality. We're going to have Jenny Colucci on the 17th of November. We've been excited to have her on since we had her on with Anthony and Kim all together from their podcast. And then on the 24th, to kind of wind up our last show in November, we're going to have Robert Bitto back on, talk more about Mexico Unexplained. So we're looking forward to it so much. Yeah, we love having them on. So, all right. I guess we can say good night. We will see you all next time.